I'm riding within milliseconds, been a while, it took a second. Kicking goals like they call me Becca. Now I'm thinking that I'm better than them. Through the trenches of the hustle, now I'm sinking so deep. My mind is a puzzle, pieces scattered still. I never miss.
This one's gonna be hectic. Sorry guys, I gotta record this video. Today, I'm gonna be watching cops make a terrifying discovery in the middle of the road. Because that's what you want. Not really. Come on, this one's gonna be hectic.
Okay. Is that a bomb?
They said it was like 15 gunshots.
Like back to back.
She just called me through social media and said that your son probably got shot.
That's Sierra LaFour, and she's the mother of 14-year-old Braylon Harges. She's yet to come to terms with the fact that Braylon has been shot and killed by an armed, unknown assailant with no apparent motive. There were no eyewitnesses and no signs of the suspect, but Sierra LaFour was certain her son knew his killer, and she was going to use the power of social media to help detectives solve this case and deliver justice for Braylon. Before we begin, let us express our deepest sympathies to the family and friends of Braylon Harges and everyone who helped to find justice for his family. Braylon Harges was the kind of a teenager who was well on his way to a happy and successful life. He was good at football and an all-around likable character, and was known to give great hugs. Like any 14-year-old, he enjoyed socializing, so when he was asked to meet up with his friends on November the 5th of 2023, he wanted to join in the fun. He met 16-year-old Steven Sopko at a house near 90th Street and Edmonds Avenue in Cleveland, Ohio, which also happened to be the house where Steven's girlfriend resided. Braylon, Steve, and his girlfriend all left the house around 6:30 p.m., and that appeared to be the end of the evening's fun. But as Braylon walked ahead, Steven pulled out a gun and shot him in the back. There appeared to be no motive and no provocation, with the events unfolding so fast that it wasn't even clear who had been shot.
This is a lost school. Like, ain't no fucking way. This is a lost school. Ain't no way. This is why I don't like this fucking city. I can't stand it.
Hello?
Before that, I'm recording them because this going to be known.
Ma'am. What?
Ma'am.
Hello?
Ma'am. Yes, hello.
What is the address of the police? Would you need the police?
I mean, I'm on 93rd and Edmonds.
93rd and Edmonds?
It's a body in the middle of the street. I don't know what's wrong with it, but it's bleeding from the head. It looks like a female.
All right, 93rd and Edmonds. She's laying in the middle of the street, you said?
I can't hear you.
She's laying in the middle of the street?
Yes. I don't know if you got hit by a car or what, but she's in the middle of the street.
Black, white, or Hispanic female?
Huh?
Black, white, or Hispanic female? Can you tell me what she's wearing?
I didn't see because it's dark and I got scared because I'm like, I don't know what's happening right here, and I got my kids in the car. Okay.
As officers from the Cleveland Police Department arrived on the scene, they would discover the alleged female victim was in fact a male, and he was desperately in need of medical attention. We must warn you that the following body cam footage might be difficult to watch.
Call the ambos first, just in case.
There we go. Focus in his upper right shoulder, and then it's nothing most of the blood is.
Braylon Harges' life was in serious jeopardy. He had suffered a total of 15 gunshot wounds. The first responders kept on giving him CPR right until the ambulance arrived, and now the medics had the task of trying to save Braylon's life before his devastating injuries claimed it. Although there were no witnesses to the shooting itself, any information the investigators could gather would help solve the case.
Did you guys see anything or just hear anything?
I just saw. And it was a red car with some guys in it, but they rode right past me.
Okay.
So that's all I saw.
Which way did they go?
That way.
You said it was a red car?
Yeah.
And they went that way
That
towards
way.
90th and Harkness?
Yeah.
Do you know what kind of red car?
Because I was so in shock.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Do you know who was in the vehicle?
It was just two boys in the car, and they wouldn't even stop to talk to me. So I asked them to call the police. They just kept going. But I don't know who did it. You know
don't
what
know
I'm
make or model or anything like that? Okay.
He was just laying there. That's all. I almost hit him.
Speaking with somebody on scene, they said they seen a red vehicle take off from this location going towards 90th and Harkness. Unknown make or model. They seen
They said it was like 15 gunshots.
Like back to back. I'm there waiting. I'm the reporter down there and I
you have your ID on you? Just so I can have that information.
I said, I can't believe people can do stuff like that. I just don't understand.
The red vehicle the witness described might have been an innocent bystander who was in the wrong place at the wrong time, or it could be the shooter themselves or even an accomplice. Either way, investigators needed to speak to them as soon as they could. While the patrol units were on the lookout for the mysterious red vehicle, officers at the scene of the shooting had to try to figure out what happened and the identity of the unknown victim.
So you said the car took off, you heard about 15 shots?
I didn't hear no shots.
You didn't hear no
I
shots?
didn't hear no shots. They heard the shots. When I came, he was just there.
On the ground, laying in the middle?
I kind of knew what it was. I was like,
Okay.
is that a bar?
And did you say anything to those guys?
No. Oh, yeah. I said, can you call the police? They just kept going.
They just took off at a high rate of speed?
Not a high rate. They just kept going.
Took off, okay.
They could have been just driving by. I don't know, you know.
What she said? She said that when she seen the person on the ground, she seen two people in a red vehicle, car. She asked can they call
And when
the
I
police.
told the girl,
And when
we
she
called the
said
police.
that they took off going
It's like
northbound 90th towards Harkness. They just heard 15 shots roughly. 15 saying in either info, but they said all three. They just heard about
that was
that amount of shots.
Yeah, he was using the clip. You could tell that. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah. You could tell when nobody shoot back. You could tell it take one sound. We was sitting right down in our car talking, and we was heard.
Officers would get help in identifying the victim, and there was somebody at the scene who knew Braylon all too well.
Who you guys here for?
Yes.
Okay. How you spell?
My neighbor had called me and said my son probably got shot on the one-way. I don't stay in the neighborhood no more.
Okay.
We jump in the car, we drive over here, we see y'all, we run up.
And what is description?
5'6",
5'6".
light skin. I just took back, I think they're like 205 now.
Wait, 205? Okay. Let me just give me a couple minutes, okay?
I mean, like the entrance to the park is probably.
Sierra LaFleur claimed she had become aware of the shooting because she saw a post on Instagram, and she immediately feared her son might be involved. Although she couldn't give any information on who the suspected shooter might be, she did provide information that would help officers identify Braylon.
I don't know. She just called me through social media and said that your son probably got shot.
Well, she didn't give you any reason why she thought it could have been.
Baby, I didn't even give her a reason to even get to that far. I just jumped.
Yeah.
You see, I got a nightgown.
You're okay. No, do you have your ID on you, ma'am? You said your son, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, we don't know anything yet, so I'm not gonna tell you anything. So.
No.
Going off.
Sadly, despite the best efforts of the medical professionals, Braylon Harges passed away in the hospital a short time after arrival, bringing an abrupt and violent end to the life that had barely begun. This left investigators with a murder on their hands, with very little evidence or information to help them figure out who was responsible. It would be down to the Cleveland Police Department's homicide unit to solve this case, and they'd use social media to try and identify the person who pulled the trigger. Once again, Braylon's mother, Sierra, would step in to help.
I know you mentioned the lady in the White House. Do you think you would be able to figure out which house that is?
So this
is 90th going north.
right. So you see how her house is? Because I heard his body was in the middle of the street.
Yeah, it was closer to like here.
Right.
It's almost right where that
Exit.
Yeah.
So one of these houses is all white, and their doorbell caught it.
Okay.
Which they sit right on the corner. She said it's a white house. The doorbell caught it.
I know that night, I think I knocked on one of these doors.
They were scared of y'all.
That's fine. That's not unusual. But do you have a contact for this lady or?
I got contact. Well, I'm my kid's father. I got an address and a name.
Okay.
I'm gonna call him before I leave from you because you detective. Now it's some apartment buildings with a pay at that he be at over to the left.
Okay.
Off of 93rd.
Do we think he was there that day?
He had to be. In order for my baby to end up right here, he either came from that way or 93rd way. To end up right here.
Do you know what kind of, was he driving that day or just
No,
walking?
because he always drive my little car, my little black car.
Okay.
I know he was 14, but the boy was the best.
Okay.
But in order for Braylon to end up right here, he either came from 93rd complex, because he'd be in the 93rd apartment.
Okay.
He's still there.
Okay.
Or he came from 93rd in order for his body to end up here.
Right.
And you said it was a car involved?
I mean, unless somebody picked him up and.
Right. And threw my baby out.
Yeah. We got a mention of like a car leaving the scene in a hurry, but you hear that many gunshots, a lot of people tend to just
pull off
fast. So, I mean, we're trying to run it down, but I was just wondering if there was any, was there like a car that would pick him up occasionally or no?
No. So his auntie stayed down here.
Okay.
If you come down this way, so where his body was laying right here, his auntie stayed down off.
Okay.
So if he would have made it to the complexes all the way down the street to the left, he would have made it to his auntie house.
Okay.
As Braylon's social media was analyzed, Sierra would help name the people that appeared in her son's Instagram photos and posts, and there was one young man that brought up red flags as soon as she realized who he was.
I'm just, and I know he was having a conversation with this kid, right?
Right. This is alarming me. This is who I believe. This kid is alarming me to the point where something.
Yeah.
His name's coming up a lot. Like if he set Braylon up. That's what the word in the street is. And I'm gonna show you some messages. Oh, I got my phone. I gotta show you some messages. Somebody inboxed him and asked him, did he do it? He said, oh, he's not snitching anymore or sneak dissing with the laugh emojis.
Okay.
Hardcore messages from talking, and then my son like, hey, I heard you was, he sent on the message. My son said, hey, I heard you sneak dissing my little brother. I got both of their Instagram, so I know what's been going on.
Right.
He said, oh, that was something. Blizz, I got to read the messages. I'll let you see it.
Okay.
These kids abbreviate stuff.
Right, I can't even figure them out half the time.
Yeah.
Do we know last name?
I should have brought Mario. No.
No, you're fine. I think somebody sent it to me, to be honest with you.
Yeah. But that's the same boy.
Okay. And you should have his screen name on the.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
So that
picture is a light.
I'm sorry for not saying as much, but this is actually fucking hectic.
Asking a boy with dreads. Now, I got another picture on my phone. Is that the same gun that was supposed to be in the meetup? Because that alarmed me. I'm like, don't that look like the same gun?
Yeah.
And I'm going to show you another picture and let you compare and you tell me. Because it's one that is the to somebody on his IG saying that he had a gun.
Okay.
And this post date was July 23rd.
Okay.
The person Sierra named was 16-year-old Steven Sopko, and he was about to become the main suspect in this case.
And
This is a girl. Her name is. She put this long live straight back from heaven. They said you were snitching on them. That's why they killed my son. I don't know who there is. She's supposed to be a gang off 105, or is that a person?
So to me, it sounds like a person.
So this girl, that's a girl post.
Yeah.
But whoever this girl is, this light-skinned boy is in her pictures.
Oh, so they're following.
Yeah, like if they're connected.
Okay.
Like if that's his auntie or something, this light-skinned boy is in her pictures when you go through her page.
Okay. Yeah, I would just like to get his thing so I can get a bigger picture. So
Right.
I can't, if I show this to someone, they'll be like, I don't know who that is.
Yeah, but so I don't know if Striker a gang or a person.
I wonder if
A person,
dead from what I'm getting there.
right, so could have been his little brother. They said a little brother.
Okay.
Like his, I guess, street name, but he have a little brother.
Yeah. All right, no, we can try to run that down. That's fine.
Yeah, so that's what I'm getting in the streets. You know, I don't be out here too often, but that's what everybody's telling me.
It was revealed that Braylon and Steven had been locked in a furious battle of jealousy that had unfolded over social media. Braylon had become friends with Steven's girlfriend, and this had caused tension between the two that eventually led to bloodshed. But Sierra did more than just name potential suspects. She even managed to find one house across the street from the shooting that had a Ring camera, and the owner of that camera was brought into the station. The detective in charge was able to watch the murder unfold before his very eyes.
So, it's my understanding you have like a Ring camera?
It don't face that direction, but I got a camera that's in the driveway.
Uh-huh.
It's kind of like in a blind spot, but you might can.
Do you think we could pull it up?
Because when that was actually happening, I was trying to look on the camera. I couldn't see it where he was at on the camera because it's like kind of like a blind spot.
Right.
But I did like go back a little bit and try to like make the camera like
zoom,
and you could see like.
You can see like people, or what do I mean? What do you see?
Yeah, you can see him getting shot.
Okay. Do you see any of the suspects, or? Okay.
But it's like one boy.
Well, why is it taking him to bring her in for her to come forward and say that? Oh yeah, you can see him get shot when you zoom in. What the fuck?
Just one boy? Okay.
And they was coming down Holy Rod.
On the night of November 4th, 2023, Braylon had spent some time with Steven's girlfriend when Steven wasn't around, and it appeared that Steven saw this as a direct threat to himself. On the very next night, November the 5th, Braylon was at Steven's girlfriend's house, but this time Steven was with them. As they left the house, Braylon walked ahead of Steven. The gun.
I gotta listen to that again.
Night, November the 5th, Braylon was at Steven's girlfriend's house, but this time Steven was with them. As they left the house, Braylon walked ahead of Steven. The gun was produced and fired 13 times into Braylon's back. As Braylon lay on the ground, Steven fired an additional 3 shots into his back, leaving Braylon with little to no chance of survival. It's alleged that Steven then returned to his girlfriend's house and hid while police were trying to save Braylon's life. It took over a month to collect enough evidence to come up with a warrant for Steven's arrest, but after his cell phone placed him in the area of the shooting, Cleveland police got an arrest warrant and they went to apprehend the suspect. But now they found Steven was not ready to hand himself in. On January the 4th, 2024, Steven barricaded himself inside his home, and it started a tense standoff with law enforcement. But Steven was outnumbered, outgunned, and outsmarted by the police. After he realized this, he gave himself up without a single shot being fired. But that didn't mean Steven was ready to talk, as he refused to say anything to the police.
right.
All right, baby. Just see. I got a lawyer. I'll tell him to talk to him in the morning. He should be on there to talk to you soon. His name is Michael Goldberg.
All right.
Miss.
Yeah.
Hey, this is Detective Kellums. I'm here with your son.
Okay.
So he told us there was nothing, he had nothing for us to talk about, so we just wanted to have him consult with you first.
Okay.
There's really I mean, unless he's gonna make a statement, there's really no reason for a lawyer to come down here tonight.
Okay, his lawyer should be down there soon. Yes, he should speak to a lawyer. I'm not sure what's going on. This is a serious case. I just need my son to just have a lawyer, okay? So the lawyer will be down here tomorrow.
Yeah, well, he's gonna have to go see him at the DH. He won't be down here tonight.
That's absolutely fine.
Okay.
Where is he at right now?
Right now he's at the homicide unit.
Okay, now you guys are gonna transfer him down to juvie?
Yep. Are you friends with your son on Instagram?
No.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say it was on the warrant he posted yesterday.
It was on what?
He decided he was gonna post a picture of the warrant online on the 28th, so all my information is on there.
Oh, okay, I got it. Okay, I'm not friends with him on there though.
No worries.
Okay. Is that all you guys need from me?
Yeah, that's it. I like I said, I don't think he's not making a statement, so he's just gonna be transferred to DH.
Alrighty, thank you so much.
Nope.
I love you.
Love you too, Mom.
I love you.
I love you, Mom. It's okay.
Bye, baby.
Everything's gonna be okay.
I know, I love you.
I love you too.
Bye, baby.
Nothing gonna be okay for you, brother. You fucked up, man. You're gonna get touched up in jail. Fucking scumbag.
Stephen's silence was not just confined to the interview room. He refused to admit to anything, even after ballistic evidence confirmed that the gun that killed Braylon had been in Stephen's possession. Due to the severity of the crime, Stephen Sopko was tried as an adult and stood trial on charges of aggravated murder, and 2 counts of felonious assault. The trial started on October the 21st of 2024, almost a year after the shooting. With evidence from cell phone records and ballistics, the case against Stephen was almost overwhelming, and the prosecution pulled no punches in trying to prove that Stephen wasn't just guilty. He planned the whole thing in advance to eliminate his love rival.
In this case, Your Honor, you saw the video. You saw the evidence. I don't need to play the video again just to tell you what happened. 13 shots in the back of a 14-year-old. You don't need to see that again. You know in your heart what he was doing that day. He wanted to kill Braylon Harges. And I know the state of Ohio, Detective Kellums, Chad Cleveland, and Jack Dowling throughout this process. You saw it in trial. We wrestled with the fact of, and you heard during the opening statements, the state doesn't have a motive. Why would he do this? There are numerous trails in his Instagram or phone dump of why he would do this, or Braylon's phone dump and Braylon's Instagram of why he would do this. Was it because that he was hanging out with Stephen's pregnant girlfriend the night before? Was it because that Braylon tried to sell a gun to his friend that day? I don't know. Only Stephen knows those answers to those questions of why you would shoot somebody 12 times, and when they're on the ground, you pause, and then you shoot them again. Only Stephen knows those answers to those questions of why he would callously kill Braylon Harges. But he did make an informative jail call the 27th of October. So that would be after the verdict for aggravated murder. And that was the first call to his mother. Your Honor, as an officer of the court, I do listen to those calls after verdicts or after pleas to hear maybe some remorse or responsibility from defendants. And I did not hear that at all. The state of Ohio understands the law. Stephen has a right to an appeal. He is going through his appellate rights. And the state of Ohio understands he doesn't have to talk here. He doesn't have to give you anything. He has that right. But what he told his mom is informative. He told her, it's going to be what it's going to be, but I got to do this time. Then he said, that's what comes with this shit. What is it, Your Honor? Killing someone? Shooting them 13 times? Or as Stephen Sopko said during the Instagram, getting bodies? Bodies. Is that all Braylon was to him? A body?
It only took 4 days for the trial to conclude, and the jury took even less time to find Steven Sopko guilty, with their verdict taking a few short hours to decide. But right until the very end, Steven remained tight-lipped, refusing to speak about his crime or admit to what he had done. Although Steven showed no remorse, the look on his face after he realized how long he would spend in prison might be justice enough for some, especially for Braylon's heartbroken mother.
I just want to say thank you, Judge. Thank you. And I want to say thank you to the prosecutors and the detectives and everybody for bringing me justice for my baby. It was a long journey, very long, and I'm still healing. But I brought Braylon with me today to thank you. And when it comes to Steven, I just want to know why. My baby would have had so much to offer you guys. At 14, he didn't have hairlines like this. It could have been a good hairline for my son one day. And I always want to just ask Steven why. Why? You could have easily just walked away.
Mr. Sopko, is there anything you want to say?
No, Your Honor.
Very well. I think the parties stipulate the defendant was found guilty by the jury of all 5 counts as indicted. The court then is going to sentence you to the firearm specification, 6 years, mandatory time served prior to and consecutive to 25 years for a total of 31 years. So your sentence will be life with consideration for parole after 31 years.
There is nothing that can ever soothe the loss of a child in such brutal circumstances, but knowing Steven Sopko will spend at least 31 years in prison might bring some comfort to those who knew Braylon Harges, and to ensure Steven will never put another family through the same pain and turmoil again.
Alright guys, that was that one.